Yes, we did it. Welcome, everybody, to Good People, Good Movies. I am your host, Mark Reilly, and you are watching the Good People Association, a.k.a. the GPA. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. I am so excited. Today it's a good day, everybody. This is the day that we're going to have a big announcement towards the end of the show. Something happening here, right here, here in the studio. But big, huge implications for. No, it's just a really cool announcement I'm very excited to get to. Towards the end of the show, I'm teasing. That's how you do it. You're going to tease a little bit up top. Make sure you all stay glued to your seat and have some fun along with me today. But this is first, we're going to get to Good People, Good Movies, because this is a day. This is special for me because there's a lot of good movie news. You know me. I am Mark Reilly. I'm known as Yodi. I'm a schmodown guy. I'm a movie trivia guy. I'm a movie guy. And so it's really, really fun to be here with all of you to celebrate movies and to talk about it. And we have a lot of good stuff on the way. But first, some housekeeping. Everybody, if you go over to gpa.fun, you can check out our website. Now, there's some big things. Not only are we doing an announcement at the end of this show, there are some big things coming to our own website. And if you're a Bucket Club member, a founding member of the GPA, boy, you're in the store for some really, really good stuff. And if you're a fan of websites, well, you are in store for some good stuff. We are doing some really special things over on the website right now. I will keep you posted on when and where you can see and the updates and everything, but stay tuned for more announcements. That's what we like to do here at the Good People, is we just announce things to make you smile. But if you go to the gpa.fun and you want to join the Bucket Club, which is our great membership, you will get this awesome glass that is sent to you. Now, you also can get stuff that is really just geared towards you guys. We do monthly hangs. More stuff is on the way. Discount on merch. And also, our merch is over there. So if you go to the gpa.fun, you can get this great hat. This hat is awesome. I wear it all the time. I love this beanie. It's been a lot cold lately, so I wear this beanie all the time. There's a bucket. There is a shirt. I'm wearing the shirt. I mean, you can get it all at the gpa.fun. So stay tuned over there. Bucket Club members, founding members, some good stuff coming your way, as well as an upgraded GPA website for everybody to enjoy. All right, that's enough of that. That's housekeeping. Later on down the show, we will be hitting some Star Wars news on Reilly's Cantina. Dave Filoni, I'm going to tease it. Dave Filoni is teasing some major Force-sensitive stuff happening in Mandalorian Season 3. What does that mean? What exactly does that mean? Are we going to see Luke Skywalker come back? Are we going to see Ahsoka Tano? Is Grogu going to be in this thing? So what we do here on the show is I'm going to just talk about movies and geek out with all of you with the Hawaiian hunk, Ikaika, who is here, by the way. Hi, my friend.
If I unmute my mic. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Look at you. And I love that you got some Carnage there. So is Carnage a big thing for you? You like Carnage?
I always love Venom. Carnage is a really cool villain.
Mm-hmm.
I like them going back and forth throughout the games, the comic books, shows.
There's a deep, rich history for Carnage, and I'm excited to get into that. But anyways, as we move forward throughout the show, if you have any thoughts, any kind of discussion topics you want to add to the show, but especially for the Reilly's Cantina segment, I want to know what you think. Dave Filoni means when he says there's going to be just major Force-sensitive things happening in Mandalorian. Give me some of your thoughts. We have our Streamlabs open right now, streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. You can get those questions in there. Super chats are always welcome as well. I will highlight anything you guys send to us and bring it up on the show. You are running this show. I want to hear from you. I want to know exactly what you think of not only a Black Superman movie, a Joker sequel set inside Matt Reeves' Batman universe, Grogu may be returning for Mandalorian season. I mean, we don't know. I mean, he walks off with Luke Skywalker. We don't know what's going on. Any and all questions will be answered here on the show. And a portion from all your donations will go to charities of our choosing, and it is Dog Month. Next week on the main show, Wednesday Live, we have the Pasadena Humane Society bringing in some puppers, and we have some great guests that are going to be there. And then, of course, we have another charity a week later. What was it called again? I always the Battle Buddies, right, Foundation. And that is something Josh Macuga has been teasing. I can't wait. You know me and dogs. Anything we can do to give back to for animals, charities. Everything that we do here at the GPA is geared. That's part of our business model to put back into the community however we see fit. So anything you want to send to us today, Super Chat, Streamlabs, will be answered on the show. It's greatly appreciated. Let's move on and let's get to the feature presentation, shall we? Because there's some big news happening out there, and I want to get everybody's thoughts on this. Because, Ikaika, I'm going to go to you first, actually, because you're in studio with me and you're looking at me, and you're looking at your monitor and I'm looking at you. Right now, the Hollywood Reporter is basically saying that Warner Brothers is searching for a black director and a black actor to lead the next Superman movie. The film is also likely to take place in a universe separate from The Flash, Aquaman 2, the Batman movie with Matt Reeves, probably Wonder Woman. I mean, this is a whole new deal. This is not only it's separate from everything. This for me as a Superman fan, if all goes well, this is probably one of the most interesting for me things I've seen, a reboot or a switch in race and character. This is kind of awesome. And I'll tell you why, because I love Superman. I love Superman so much, and the original intention with Superman was to kind of highlight the idea that Superman was an immigrant. Superman was created in the time when there was an influx of people wanting to come to America to have a better life. And so he was kind of a metaphor for, these immigrants that are coming here and then facing hardships, facing a little bit of racism, a little bit of being put poor living wages, all these different things. But to see it through the eyes of an immigrant and then turns around and says, no, I'm going to help everybody because I'm that good. Now, for me, the idea gets even more interesting when you consider a black actor. And then it gets even more interesting when I go over to THR right now and read that the plan to introduce the world to a black Superman, and Warner Brothers is also committed to hiring a black filmmaker to direct the movie, meaning J.J. Abrams, who did a big deal and is going to produce this thing, he's only going to produce. It's in the early stages of development right now, and it's Ta-Nehisi Coates. I can't pronounce. If you were on our GPA live stream over there on Instagram, I cannot I cannot pronounce names to save my life. But they're working on this project right now to introduce Superman, okay, possibly showing up in the early 20th century or, moreover, the 60s, and the idea of what it's like in the 60s for a black person, how a Superman or how a savior sent from another planet, what would that do? That is a fascinating idea to me. That is something that you can go deep into story, deep into conflict, say something that is very, very different than we've seen in past Superman outings. Now, I know this is a thing that the internet can have its opinion on casting, especially when we're casting from different races and genders even. And I know that this can maybe, I'm a Superman fan, this can maybe cause some people to scratch their head. I cannot wait for this because, as we're learning, we'll get into some news a little bit down the line here, DC is now in a multiverse. They're going to be producing movies left and right that don't need to sync up together. They're going to have the Flashpoint movie. It's going to say multiverse. We're going to figure it out that way so we can have Aquaman running around in his universe. We can have Wonder Woman running around in her universe. And then that same universe, they can meet again. I don't know what they're going to do for these team-ups. That's where I don't know, and I want to take your ideas, and maybe you have some thoughts on this. But I don't see why we couldn't then rope back around a year later, maybe on HBO Max, we get Zack Snyder's continuation of Justice League. I want that. I hope they do that. I think the fans have been very vocal and lately very, very passionate about the idea of a continuation of Justice League. I don't see why we can't have that over on HBO Max and have a new Superman in movie theaters. I don't see why not. We're getting Michael Keaton's Batman, for God's sakes, coming back into the Flash movie. They are doing this on purpose. Everybody's going to win. We're going to have so many great superhero movies in the DC universe. I say the more the better. Ikaika, what are you thinking about this news? In particular, Do you believe it's time for a black Superman?
So when I first saw this, I was like, great, do it. And then thinking about it, I'm like, we already had this as far as a black Superman. Not saying don't do it. We had a black Superman in Jackie Robinson in 42, where he's put into this new place and he has the power where he can just go and punch someone or like get violent if he wanted to, but he kept his feelings inside him. So that into the storyline alone is going to be a very powerful part of the film. And I know people are saying, oh, people are just going to be, it's going to be about just like race and whatnot and just stick to the comics. We had the comic. How many times have we had the Superman origin story? Let's do something new, something fresh.
Yep.
Where was all this hate when Jason Momoa was cast as Aquaman? Aquaman was a white person, and then he became Polynesian, half Hawaiian, half Atlantean. No one batted an eye. But when it's a black person, oh, it's the end of the world. That's bullshit. Like, just let it be something new. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Brian Jackson, Mr. McClunky here in the chat saying it's a separate universe. Correct. It'll be a separate universe. We go back to the report here. Floated right now is a setting in the film in the 20th century, which would tackle the idea of race head-on should a black alien arrive before, during, or in the immediate wake of the civil rights movement. That's fascinating to me on a story level. That, to me, doesn't have to be beholden to any comics. That can tackle, yes, political issues through the eyes of a character that we know and love. Now, it is going to be a separate universe. I don't think they'll tie it in. They might. But I think it's fascinating to consider. And that's what I think great storytelling is. And that's pushing boundaries. And that's figuring things out through the eyes, metaphors, analogies of a superhero movie. And so the idea of doing this with Superman, Ikaika, I completely agree. We've seen the origin story of Superman. We've seen the origin story of Spider-Man. We've seen the origin story of Batman. We've seen the origin story now of many superheroes. Believe me, down the line, we are going to get more superhero movies, more reboots. Sooner or later, there's going to be another Wonder Woman. Sooner or later, there's going to be another Aquaman. Sooner or later, another Superman, a Batman, a Spider-Man, an Iron Man, an X-Men is coming. All these different things, it's going to happen. It's not going to take away the movies we love. It's not going to take away the memories that we grew up on, especially me as I was looking up to Christopher Reeve and looking at the man, brown hair, black hair, and blue eyes. I saw myself in him. And I put on a shirt that had an S on it, and I tied a towel around my neck, and I went running down the street. Wouldn't it be great to have others be able to look up and see themselves in a superhero movie? This has so many potential bits to it. I mean, it blows my mind at the possibilities. So I applaud Warner Brothers for doing this. I can't wait to see what they come up with. I have some super chats coming in here right now. Peter Ramsey has my vote for director, says Moremouth. Moremouth, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. That's a good one. Peter Ramsey's a great choice. Lauren Romo, Michael B. Jordan for the role of Superman, please and thank you. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, that name is everywhere because Michael B. Jordan, at one point, allegedly, or was rumored, he was going to be taking on the role, or he was interested in the role. I would love to see him in it, although recently he said that, no, I'm not doing it, I'm going to watch. So I think they're on the hunt right now for a great actor. If you have any ideas, throw them my way. I love the idea of Michael B. Jordan doing that. This is an interesting time in our culture. It's an interesting time in movies because of the pandemic. What is going to survive? Are there going to be movie theaters left? Is everything going to be to streaming? It's such a fascinating time, and to go down this road for this character in particular, because I'm not going to lie, when I heard the news originally, before this broke, and it was more of a rumor, I was never against a black Superman. I was just as a lover of Man of Steel. I'm like, I want to see Henry Cavill continue. But when you look at the facts of what DC is doing. One, the fans won. They were able to convince a multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar, probably even more company to resurrect a dead project, to put more money into it. And mind you, Justice League bombed in theaters. So it was a risk to bring Zack Snyder back to finish his Justice League. But you know who got that done? The fans. The fans got that done. And we all benefit. If you like Justice League like I did, I loved it, actually. I watched the black and white version. I think I've watched that thing 3 times now. and you're making your voices known in a way that's positive, in a way that's supportive of, other movies within the studio, because you don't want to go to King Kong versus Godzilla and downvote that movie because they're not giving you what you want. You wouldn't want to do that. But the idea that we're getting that because the fervor was so strong that Warner Brothers went, yeah, let's do that. I say continue the restore the Snyderverse hashtag. I say keep bugging Warner Brothers and do it nicely, of course. Be kind to people. That's what we want here at the Good People Association and in general. But I don't see why not. And they go, okay, let's do it on HBO Max while they're doing a new movie for Superman in theaters, another movie for Wonder Woman. I mean, sky's the limit is what I say. And so I'm very excited to see this come to fruition. Ikaika, do you have any ideas of like casting or directors for this? Or are you just excited to see the potential of this?
I mean, I haven't really even thought about like too much into it.
Right.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan just comes to mind because
he's rad.
He wants to do it, and that's just the name out there. But
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there's so many names that you could probably go to, but Michael B. Jordan is one. He's just. Have I told you that Michael B. Jordan is a good-looking man? I mean, I look at Michael B. Jordan, I go, damn it, that's a good-looking man. He's my number one choice because I love Creed, but I think there's a little bit of Creed 3 in the pipeline for him, and I think that that's what he's kind of more focused on right now. I also hear that he's a very big Superman fan, so he kind of just wants to sit back and maybe watch from the wings, hoping that a good movie comes out, or I don't know what's happening over there. I'm going to be monitoring this very closely as a Superman fan. I love to know what all of you think. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and drop some comments down there. If you haven't already, please, I have so many people watching right now and only 4 likes on this video. Please hit the like on this video in particular. Drop in some comments if you're watching on the replay. I would love to know what you think of the direction they're going with their Superman movie, and who do you want to see direct this movie, and who would you want to see as your next Superman? I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's move on in our movie news here right now, because Ikaika, I can't believe the news that keeps happening with this DC world. So I want to go right to The Hollywood Reporter and the Joker sequel set in the universe of Matt Reeves' Batman. Now, this was a kind of a throwaway. I read it. I kind of passed over it. The main article was behind. The Hollywood Reporter drops an article that says, behind Warner Brothers' search for a black Superman. And this was something that came, it's like a toss away. And they do this sometimes. They really do this. They get you talking about one thing, and then they sneakily pass like a sourced kind of tidbit in there to get you all talking, to get the blogosphere going. So let me find it real quick, because and when I say it's buried in here, I mean it is buried in here. Because everything it's about the Superman. It's about relaunching this. And here we go. And this should kind of set up what people are talking about. Multiverse characters, introducing multiple different movies. We have so many different ways to, like, we could stream this at home on HBO Max, like I said, or we could go to the movie theaters. And like I said, we're going to be looking to see some of these big movies now that are finally going to drop in theaters. Black Widow is finally coming out. A Quiet Place 2, you can only see it in theaters. We're going to talk about that trailer soon, but you can only go to theaters for that. So as we're getting vaxxed, as people are getting finally out there and the movie theaters are going to start reopening, it'll be interesting to see how the streaming landscape changes even more, because it shifted. It was a tectonic plate. Everybody felt it. Pandemic hit, and then we saw Wonder Woman 1984, a blockbuster movie that should have opened with over $100 million. It went straight to HBO Max. That is a shift in the culture of our movies, so there's going to be more happening as the pandemic rights itself, as movie theaters right themselves. So I wonder what this all means. But here's what they write. DC sees its upcoming Flash movie, which began production in April, and it's going to be in a post-Snyder world. Fans of Zack Snyder's Justice League, earmuffs. Sorry about that. I still think they're going to do something. So, with the inclusion of such characters as Supergirl, Michael Keaton's Batman, one thing Flash does is set up the DC with a multiverse that allows for many of these incarnations and story universes to coexist and have superheroes interact. So far, every movie and TV show with the exception of Matt Reeves' The Batman starring Robert Pattinson and set for release in March, HBO Max's spinoff Gotham PD, which is going to be connected in the universe to Robert Pattinson's Batman, and Joker and its planned sequel will take place in the same universe. That last bit, and Joker and its planned sequel will take place in the same universe. That blew me away. Why? Because Joaquin Phoenix is noticeably weird and does not want to do multiple movies in a comic book universe. He famously turned down Doctor Strange because he didn't want to have to do a million Doctor Strange movies, a million appearances, go to Comic-Con, sit there and talk about what do you think Doctor Strange means with Wanda and the multiverse and all these things. I mean, I just see Joaquin Phoenix, roll his eyes and kind of probably go back to sleep or something. I mean, he did it when he was given the Academy Award. I mean, I think he just didn't. Joaquin Phoenix is a guy, I don't know him. He looks like a guy that's just like, he's method. He's method AF. And I think that all he really cares about is the art and the craft. So, with that said, if Joker has a planned sequel, and this is really happening, and it's taking place in the Pattinson universe, then they must have something up their sleeve that Joaquin Phoenix likes. Ikaika, what do you think of this? I mean, you don't want that. I know you said something, you don't want that.
I can see it happening. I mean, we haven't gotten a confirmation on when the Batman is taking place.
No. It's right. It's outside of its own universe.
I haven't watched the trailer in a while, but from what I remember, there's nothing really making it cemented that it's like present day.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't the song like a Nirvana song or something? It's like some grunge song that's like a cover of it.
Yeah.
I can see it as the 90s. So it's been 20-something years since the Joker took place. So the Joker is older, which
could be older. It could be in the insane asylum.
Series, he's pretty old, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Joker's old.
Yeah, could be.
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker could have 20 years to. I mean, he doesn't do anything really smoothly in the film.
Right.
So I think within that 20 years, he can become the Joker that we know and love.
I think so.
I'm not fully against it. It's just like, I don't know. I don't really want a sequel to the Joker. I thought it was a good one-off.
Mm-hmm.
But
here's what I'll say. I tend to be a nerd when it comes to these things, and I loved Joker. I thought it was an amazing kind of examination of mental health. I thought it was a good, amazing movie, an amazing score, an amazing performance. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Now, because I'm a nerd and I enjoy the hell out of that Joker, if you tell me that he's going to appear with Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves might have a chance to maybe get in there and noodle around and direct and write and do, yes, give me that. Give me that. I'm okay with that. And I want to know what you guys think right now because we are rambling here and I want to get to some news and some conversations, but especially this one, especially this. This seems different. This seems kind of big because of what, and this is, I've been doing this for a while, and so you see the same news stories over and over again. You see the same rumors. You see the same websites kind of saying, oh, I've heard that Rey is coming back and is going to have a kid and it's going to be connected to the Batman universe. You know, according to sources that people just make up. No. This is interesting because we've heard that Joker was not going to get a sequel. This is interesting because Joaquin Phoenix, I've heard that he didn't want a sequel. I wonder where they're going for this, from this, and how they're going to connect it. Whether or not Flashpoint is a part of this, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get Flashpoint, and at one point, we're going to get that Spider-Man meme, though, with Batman. It's going to be Bruce Wayne from the Burton universe, Bruce Wayne from the Nolan. Christian Bale won't come for this. I don't think. I think they want to keep that separate because it's a little different. I think they want to keep separate from the Nolan universe because Nolan, I think, arguably wanted it to be just no Batman or no superhero universe. It's a very real telling of a character wanting to dress up as Bat and kick people's asses. But with this is fascinating to me. So, streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Get some questions in there now. Super chats were always welcome. I want to know what you think about this. I will come back around for these conversations as we go along. But it's a fascinating idea to consider. And I always implore you all to look at this past, because this is what interests me, past the idea of like movies and getting what you want. Because we live in a culture right now where social media has given us a megaphone. And if we don't like something, casting or otherwise, boy, we will let the studios hear it, right? But with this, it's fascinating to me. So it's like, could they have been listening? I think a lot of people really wanted to see Joker sequel. Also, Warner Brothers, it made over $1 billion in theaters. That was the surprise of the century. So why wouldn't they want to go do that? Todd Phillips probably has something, an idea. He mentioned it before, if I remember correctly. He had an idea. I would like to see Joaquin Phoenix. I would like to see this happen. What say you? What are the implications of this? Will we see a Joaquin Phoenix Joker alongside of Robert Pattinson's Batman down the line? Or do you think that the Hollywood Reporter just kind of threw something out there, see if it would catch fire with reps? They've done that before. They've dropped some news to kind of test the waters to see if they could get some confirmation on things. I don't know. I like the idea personally. I just don't know. Ikaika, any last thoughts on this? I know you're not necessarily crazy about it, but could it be something that we see worked in through Gotham PD?
I mean, we might not even see the Joker really. Like, it could be like little flashbacks or whatnot, but I think it just set in the same universe. That's really all we'll get, which that's fine, whatever.
That's fine, whatever. We shall see. We shall see. But I'm excited. All right, let's keep on moving here because there's another superhero thing. It's a lot of superheroes lately, but that's what sells, and that's what gets me. I love my superheroes. The first Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer brings back the oddest superhero pairing. This from Collider. I'm reading their headline on this. Now listen, Venom was a divisive movie. It had mixed reactions to it, including my own. I was a little, I didn't like the tone all the time. I liked some of the action, but some of these big superhero movies, Transformer movies, anything where it's like, here's your guy, right? Let's say Tony Stark, Iron Man 2008, right? He has the iron suit. He does all the things. We get to know him. And then the end of the movie, another bigger, better iron suit, and they fight. Same thing with Venom. Same thing with Transformers. Same things, they kind of fill in the blank. Sometimes it gets a little muddled in my eyes. Carnage looked awesome in this trailer. Ikaika, what do you think? You're a Carnage fan.
He looked okay. I honestly wasn't that impressed by this. I know we're trying to find that good, but
you weren't impressed with Carnage. That's okay.
I want to see Carnage during the daytime where I can really see the red and not see this brownish red that we get in the trailer because it's so dark. I know they do that because the CGI looks better when it's dark, but
yeah.
And then how it started off with comedy. I'm like, I don't really see Venom as a comedic person.
Right.
The only time it's funny, it's not really supposed to be humor, but it's when he's so pissed off at Carnage, he will do anything. He'll team up with Spider-Man to take down Carnage.
Yeah.
I know we're not going to get that in this movie, but
or will we? Or will we? Here's the thing, man. And all of you, thank you for the super chats coming in here. I'm going to be getting to them very soon. You can also send Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. It helps keep the lights on here and also keep some lovely future adopted puppies with some food in their belly as we make some donations to some charities upcoming. It's Dog Month here at the GPA. Anyways, yeah, I think that Spider-Man, Tom Holland, one day will be alongside Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. I believe it's coming. I believe they're working on a deal. I believe it's something that they've been trying to work out. It's a mess out there with the rights to Spider-Man, Marvel, MCU. They have all these different, what do you call them? I don't know. There's just so much to do. But I think they want to get there. There's some signs to me that make it seem like it could actually happen. They're making deals so that we could have Spider-Man movies licensed by Sony on the Disney Plus app in order to connect the MCU. I think they want to get there. I think it would increase revenue on both sides. I think it would increase the fans. They would love the hell out of this. I mean, would you love to see the next Spider-Man movie with Venom in it, or see Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom, pop up in a future MCU movie? I always want to see that. I've been wanting to see the entire Marvel catalog of characters all within the same universe so we can get those movies. I think it might happen with Spider-Man. The relationship that they have seems to benefit both Sony and Disney, and so I think they're going there. I think ultimately we might see it. But back to the point. The trailer in question, I liked the weird, Ikaika. I loved that it started with comedy and that it kind of went through some action, some history, like where Eddie is, and then, of course, the reveal that we're getting Woody Harrelson's Carnage. It looked good. It looked fun. If it lands on me the same way the original Venom did, I'll be a little disappointed, but here's what I'll say. 2 words on why Venom, Let There Be Carnage has me excited. Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is directing this thing. So not only do we have an actor, an accomplished motion capture actor, producer, everything, coming in there, I feel like we're already going to have a better-looking symbiote fight that doesn't look like just a bunch of clay going, I think we're going to see a lot more depth of performance. And I think Andy Serkis knows how to direct a movie. The guy, I saw his Jungle Book Origins, and it's really good. It wasn't great, but every director does start with a movie somewhere, and then they really start to get into their craft, get a little better, what have you. This, to me, is going to be exciting. Andy Serkis for the win. What do you think about that? Andy Serkis, Ikaika, does it make you feel better for this movie, and if the Carnage doesn't look great to you?
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, didn't he direct Mowgli? I remember I didn't finish watching that
What
movie.
was it, Mowgli or Jungle Book Origins? I can't remember. It was Jungle Book Origins
it's called
at one
Mowgli,
point.
Legend of the Jungle.
That's right. Legends of the Jungle.
Yeah, I didn't finish that movie, so that's what I thought of it. Who knows? It could be really good. I hope it's better than the first one because there's parts of the first one that I like, but overall it felt like a 90s superhero movie that's not that great, and not like in a good way, just like like I probably would have loved it when I was like 12.
Yeah.
Just like I watched like The Punisher and like Fantastic Four all the time when I was little, and now I watch it, I'm like, oh, this movie's not that great.
Yeah.
But who knows? It could be really good. It's still, when is this coming out?
When is this coming
October?
out? Yeah, let me get to the actual article so I'm looking up something because I have some super chats coming in that I want to get to and discuss with you guys as we get ready to sort of switch over into some Star Wars news soon. But where is the article? My God, my notes are just going crazy here. Where the hell is that article? I lost here. I don't know when it's coming out, Ikaika. It's coming out soon. Where is it? When is it coming out, everybody? The movie looks crazy to me. It's just that's it. That's the thing that Sony's going for right now when it comes to their Venom movie. They're going a little weird, and I'm okay with that. I thought the trailer had enough teasing to it, enough humor. It was walking a little bit dark. I mean, Venom looked like he was about to eat somebody's head off. That to me all spells good. And with Andy Serkis behind the helm, I think it'll be something special. So
September 24th.
September 24th. Okay. Some super chats to get to real quick. Michael T, thank you for this, my friend. I appreciate the donation. I just hope there's a dog named Cal in it. I appreciate that. I hope there's a dog named Cal in it as well. I miss my boy Cal. We saw some puppies on the positivity report today, and there was a dog petting another dog, and that dog looked like Cal, and I missed him. Stacy M. Brooks, thank you so much for the super chat. Thoughts on Jordan Peele as director? I think he would be awesome. That is actually my number one. I would say he's my number one choice for a superhero movie, and especially for a movie that would feature a black Superman. I think through the eyes of Jordan Peele, what he did for Get Out, what he did for Us, the commentary that he makes through his writing, through his use of metaphors, analogies, and whatnot, could transfer very well to a Superman movie. I would be interested to see what he would pull off with that. That is my number one pick. Stacy, thank you for that. The next super chat I want to get to, love Leanne Clark. Thank you so much for this generous super chat. And she writes, if they want different ethnicities in a superhero movie, how about make the comic books that have them in it? Yep. There are ones with blacks, and we Native Americans have many. None have been made into movies. That's right. But they're going to get there. That is the new kind of way that we are approaching a lot of these superhero movies. And I won't call it a woke culture. I don't like that word. I call that, finally listening, finally looking at the landscape, finally realizing that lovely Ann Clark, there are many, 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 many comics with diverse superheroes in them. What does that mean? It means more stories. It means more superhero movies. We want that. The audience wants that. Okay, and everybody, Black Panther did this. Wonder Woman did this. Shang-Chi is coming out. I think we are very close to a Native American superhero. I think we're very close to more black superheroes. Green Lantern, I saw some people talking in the chat that where's Green Lantern throughout all this, the Justice League, all this. Is it going to be, where they're going to go with that? I hear it's an HBO Max series. The more superhero stories that are out there, the more diverse characters means more stories. More ways to connect to a bigger story, connect to a bigger universe. Why can't we have a Native American superhero that runs into a black Superman? Why can't we see Michael Keaton's Batman talk to fill in the blank? More stories mean more good movies for me. Means more fun for you. And studios, I think, want to look into that because we are in a golden age of streaming, and I swear I can see it. I can see it happening. I can see a Superman movie in theaters with a Justice League Part 2 from Zack Snyder on an HBO Max series. I don't see why not. They've done it. There's been precedent set now with the Release the Snyder Cut movement and the fans making it happen for a good cause, too. A lot of the donations going to suicide prevention and honoring Zack Snyder's daughter. You keep it up with Restore the Snyder Universe, or Snyderverse, and they'll listen. I think they will listen, and I think we can all win on that. Ikaika, is there any kind of, off the top of your head, is there any kind of superheroes out there, diverse superheroes that you would want to get into, or is it just like, open the doors, man, everybody can play?
Let's just let everything's going to be happening soon. Yeah. There's not really one that stands out.
Okay. I'm excited for all that. But lovely Ann Clark, thank you so much for your generous donation. And I think it's coming. I think it's happening. I think people are putting a lot. I know they put in development. It's escaping the name, but I know that there's going to be Blue Beetle, and they're going to do the Latino character in that. They're aware of these things. It's happening. And I'm excited. I'm just here being a movie fan, and I can't wait to see it, and I hope everything and people have fun with these things and don't get bent out of shape with these things. It's good. More stories, more movies, more characters, more people smiling, more little kids standing. When Black Panther came out and I saw the cutest little black boy standing in front of the poster, mimicking the pose. Do you know what? It hit me right in the feels because that was me in front of the Christopher Reeve superhero poster. I want more of that. And I think it's coming. I know it's coming. Jake Rowan, thank you so much for the super chat here, my friend. I think Venom and Morbius are in the Raimi-verse. Really? You think they'd be in the Raimi-verse? Do you think they could bring back? Do you think this could be the Raimi-verse? I don't know. I like the thought, Jake. The Eddie Brock Raimi Venom was Topher Grace. I forgot his name for some reason. So it could be. I don't know what they're going to do. Here's what is going to happen, and we know this because we now have a Flashpoint movie, and we have a Multiverse of Madness movie with Doctor Strange. We're getting the multiverse across the board. Okay, we're probably going to introduce some X-Men or maybe Fantastic Four. I don't know how they're going to do it with the Marvel movie. Spider-Man 3 is probably going to set up Raimi's Doctor Strange. That's going to be interesting for me. I think there's going to be a lot of characters, crossover. Andrew Garfield is bullshitting us, people. I don't curse a lot here on the GPA. We're good people. But Andrew Garfield is full of shit. Okay? He's sitting there going, I haven't heard anything. I don't know what's going to happen. He's in the movie, I think. I think Tobey Maguire's in the movie. I think there's going to be that. I think Raimi is going to actually have the 3 Spider-Man or the 2 Spider-Man, and they're going to point to each other, and they're going to recreate the meme. Mark my words. I think they will make a funny reference to that. Not Raimi. Watts in the Spider-Man 3. Is that where it's going to happen? How does Spider-Man... we're getting off tangent here, but I like this. Moramoth, thank you again for the super chat, my friend. The Protectors, led by Jimmy Woo. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a great one. The Protectors, that's Marvel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So many different things. And we look, love Leanne Clark. To your point, Moon Knight is happening. Moon Knight is in production right now with Oscar Isaac. That's another diverse character that they're bringing out there. Miss Marvel is happening right now. Just finished filming. Mirror Domains, Eternals is fairly diverse. I want to see who Salma Hayek is playing. It's correct. I believe that they swapped genders for a character in Eternals. I want to say. I'm not very sure yet. Do people know more than me? Let me know in the chat right there in below. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, thoughts, speculation, you can send them to streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa or super chats. It helps so much here. And thank you guys for hitting those like buttons as we raise it up here at the GPA. All right, let's move on. Unless you guys, of course, if you send anything, super chats or otherwise, I'll rope back around and I will add it to the conversation here. But as we move on to the next topic du jour, A Quiet Place 2 final trailer has dropped. I love this movie, this franchise now so much. I rewatched A Quiet Place. This movie looks awesome. I love that it's picking up after the events of the first movie, obviously. I love that there's more just monster goodness. I wonder how they will expand the mythology, so to speak. But as your horror-loving guy here, me, Mark Reilly, I cannot wait for this Quiet Place 2. This movie has been a year. It was supposed to come out in March of 2020. I remember looking at the billboard going, I know what I'm doing next weekend. You know what I did next weekend? Went into quarantine. Boy, that sucked. Wah, wah. But A Quiet Place 2, John Krasinski is back in the director's chair. Touch and go there for a little bit as he was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. It has to be a good story. And then they came up with a good story. And here we are. Ikaika, what'd you think of it? And everybody out there watching, what'd you think of A Quiet Place 2's trailer? And you're going to go see this thing opening night, should you be fully vaxxed and want to get out there?
You already know what I want.
Yeah.
What I thought of it. I texted you like, you want to go see this? Want this to be the first movie we go see in theaters?
I said yes.
Over a year?
Oh, yeah.
And I talked to Josh about it, and he's like, maybe Amanda want to go. I'm like, you don't want to go?
Josh is funny because he went and saw A Quiet Place and liked it.
He's like, yeah, I liked it, but I don't want to see it.
Now, yeah, there are some moments in there. I get it. Yeah, and I'm seeing some chat people in here. Yeah, Hulk needs his own movie. Absolutely. System Failure 2. Hulk needs his own movie. There's one character, two characters actually, underneath the banner of Universal, and that is Hulk and Namor. I believe they own Namor as well. And they've been trying to figure out a way. The only reason they were able to, something in the contracts, the only reason they were able to have Hulk in the MCU movies was because of the team-up potential, so Avengers. Something happened with Incredible Hulk. I know that that was a part of it. There's some contract stuff happening there. So I agree with you, though. I would love to see a Hulk movie with Mark Ruffalo returning. Smart Hulk, too.
Well, I do believe MCU does have Namor now.
Do they?
That was the rumor for a while that Namor was supposed to be in Black Panther 2. And they teased that in Endgame.
Okay.
Well, there was like, when they're talking about, under Wakanda in the ocean, there was like something in the trenches. And that's Namor. That's
Namor. Yeah. I think, take a breath, all you Marvel superhero lovers like me. I think we're going to be getting some big things happening. Not only Namor, Fantastic Four, X-Men. I think all of these things, and I think we're going to be able to look back on Endgame and see those hints like you're talking about, Ikaika. The earthquake underneath, yeah, something's there. Something is definitely there. We have a Streamlabs coming in here as well. Streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Thank you for this, Christian Alante, my friend. They write, I don't like the idea of Joker being in Reeve's universe. This version of Joker is already middle-aged and doesn't possess the intelligence that can take on Batman like Heath's Joker did. I tend to agree with you there. Reeve's version, Gotham, is also very different to Todd Phillips' Gotham. I agree. Todd Phillips' Gotham reminded me of Taxi Driver. And that was the aesthetic they were going for. They basically, at one point it was rumored that Scorsese was involved with this project. I still think he was. I think Scorsese sat down for a meeting and he was like, what do you got? What do you got? And they're like, yeah, Joker movie like Taxi Driver. And he's like, great, that sounds great. And he walked off and then criticized Marvel. Yeah, it is different. Now, it could work if it's years later, But I see what you're saying. The aesthetic of Phillips's Gotham might be different than the version that Reeves is doing. And yeah, it's a little bit hard to look at the Joker. Like when Joaquin Phoenix was cast as Joker, everybody, we do this with every superhero. Have you noticed? Go back. Everybody loses their mind the minute a new actor is put into a new part or an old part. I mean, I remember when Jesse Eisenberg was cast as Lex Luthor, and I can't remember which was first. I think it was Ben Affleck was revealed as Batman, and some people lost their mind. Some people were really upset about that. It was weird. I thought he was great. He's one of my favorite Batman. And then Jesse Eisenberg was cast, and everybody lost their mind even some more. And I remember making a joke on Twitter that Ben Affleck sent a basket of muffins to Jesse Eisenberg with a note saying it gets better. Because after the dust settled, I happened to like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, even though he's nuts. And that's why I like him. He's nuts. He's got Jolly Ranchers and he's stuffing them into people's mouths. That's weird. That's interesting. But there were rumors that there might have been Lex Sr. above him. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to shake out at the end of this. But Christian Alante, thank you for the Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. You can get some in there now. I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder how they're going to handle this. And I wonder what it's going to mean for the characters in general. So, Ikaika, any last thoughts? We'll go back to Quiet Place 2 trailer. Any last thoughts on that one? What do you guys think of that as well?
I'm just excited to see it in theaters. I
We're
think it's
gonna
going to be a good one as far as just sound and on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's move on. We got some bits here, some film bits. Everybody, I'm going to read to you 3 news bits. And Ikaika and everybody watching along right now, I want you to pick the one that we talk about. But these are just some things that are happening out there in the film universe. Film bits. Mads Mikkelsen on the Indiana Jones 5 script. He says it was everything I wished it would be. What does that mean? Courtney Cox is teasing Scream 5's continuity for the movies. Now, I've read the article, but, continuity. If we have Courtney Cox coming back, I take away the Scream series from MTV. I'm just sticking with the movie on that. And then some major casting news actually today, Ikaika. Knives Out 2. A couple days ago, we got Dave Bautista joining the cast. And then today, Edward Norton has joined the cast, the sequel to Rian Johnson's hit murder mystery, now going to Netflix. We have Knives Out 2. It is casting. It is happening. Rian Johnson is coming back. Rian Johnson is going to make Knives Out 3. So for all you Rian Johnson folk that, might not like his work, I don't think he's coming back to Star Wars for a while. I think he's going to be in Knives Out world for a while, and I couldn't be more excited for it. So after all those news articles that were read, Ikaika, anything standing out to you?
My favorite trilogy of all time, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Yeah, it's mine too. Not favorite. That's your favorite trilogy? Yeah.
Yep.
Not my favorite trilogy, but definitely some of my favorite movie moments, movie characters. Raiders of the Lost Ark is a perfect movie. So let's go into that. So Mads Mikkelsen was speaking with, look at this. He was speaking with Collider, it looks like. And he was talking about it, and when asked what his reaction was to being approached to star in the new Indiana Jones film, Mikkelsen revealed his recently went back and revisited Spielberg's masterful Raiders of the Lost Ark. So he says, I'm very, very excited about it. I rewatched Raiders of the Lost Ark the other day. It is so well done and so charming and such great storytelling. So yes, it's a great honor to be part of that franchise that I grew up with. I'm in a lucky position where they let me read the script before he read the script. And yes, it was everything I wished it to be, so that was just great. Now, Ikaika, let's cut through some of the usual things here. We know what actors are saying when they're being political.
Yep.
Okay? So why would Mads go out there and go, yeah, I read the Indiana Jones 5 script, and boy, it sucked. Oh, I'm doing this for a paycheck, man. Who cares? I think it's going to be like on the level of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, whatever. No, the actors are not going to do that. However, here's what I will say. The fact that he brought up Raiders of the Lost Ark fills me with some good news. That feels right. It feels like that was a natural progression of thinking. He went, I watched Raiders. I revisited it. I read the script. It's everything I wanted it to be. Yes, it's political, but I'm excited for it, and I'll tell you why. I'm excited because James Mangold is directing, and I was a little bummed at first when Spielberg was not going to do the project anymore, because how do you make an Indiana Jones movie without Steven Spielberg? But Steven Spielberg did direct Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, I believe that movie suffered a little bit more because of George Lucas' story and wanting to incorporate the interdimensional. But yeah, we don't need to get into that. You know what I love about that movie? I love the movie that shoots Indy through the sky in a refrigerator. I do. I love that part. I thought it was pretty damn funny. But so I digress. I like the fact that James Mangold is going to be a part of this franchise, and I think it's going to bring something different into it. And I think secretly they might launch not a sequel or not a new Indiana Jones, but somebody to take the fedora over. What do you think, Ikaika?
I mean, I don't take anything with a grain of salt that he says. Like, it could be terrible, but I hope it's really good. I mean, I didn't have too many problems with Crystal Skull. Like, yeah, it's the worst out of the 4, but it's not as bad as the movie. People give it too much hate. Like,
they do.
There's so many good parts and elements of it. Like, I always say I love the part where they're on the motorcycle and Mutt is like, I think Mutt like crashes into the statue and it falls off and he's like laughing and Indy's like grumpy, and that goes back to the Last Crusade where Indy's doing everything and his dad is like grumpy about it. Like, they just switched roles. And
yeah,
I think with Mangold, is Mangold writing this or is he just directing?
No, I want to say that Jake Kasdan came in and wrote some of it. Is that right? I can't remember. No. David Koepp, I think, came back. There's been a lot, and I think Mangold will come in and actually rewrite. I think he will. Yeah, David Taylor in the chat. Not a great film, but a fun time. Yeah, there's a lot of fun moments in that. I loved it when the Russian got eaten by the fire ants. Like, that guy got screwed. That to me is Indiana Jones in a way that is really fun. You get the ick factor. You get there are certain hallmarks you get with an Indiana Jones movie. And I think Mangold, because of what he did with Logan, we're going to see something special when it comes to Indiana Jones. So that's just a film bit right there. If I can speak a little bit on the other news, I think Edward Norton, Dave Bautista joining Knives Out 2 is awesome. Rian Johnson is one of my favorite filmmakers. I love The Last Jedi. You all know that. If you come at me with that, like, The Last Jedi is... Whatever. I stopped listening a while ago.
Here, one quick question.
Yeah.
What actor would you want to be announced next to be Knives Out 2? Actor or actress?
Actor or actress? That's a good question. I'm trying to think of something that's like out of the box thinking.
I know they've worked together before, but I would like to see Adam Driver. I think he'd fit good in that universe. And because that
Adam Driver,
is
yes,
straight like acting chops. The first movie is so.
The acting in the first movie, Knives Out, is spectacular. Everybody, and that's the rhythm of Rian Johnson's script. Did you feel that rhythm? There was just this great, and the actors looked like they were having a blast. They were sitting there just like firing back and forth, and I can see that. I can see Adam Driver fitting in there and having those moments. Picture Adam Driver in a Marriage Story? Is that what that movie was called? It's escaping my mind right now. Picture that character, that intense character, and put him in the world of Knives Out, because that was the humor to me, is that they were playing it straight. These reactions were very human and real, but surrounding it all was this crazy, crazy mystery with some weird characters in there. I think that would be really fun. Yeah, I know. System Failure 2, he was meant to take over as Indiana. That didn't work out. It really didn't work out because, the movie didn't do well. And I think there were a lot of people that pushed back at that. I think a lot of people were like, no, we don't want to see anybody but Harrison Ford. And I think you could take a little bit of what we learned from Solo to consider what might happen with Indiana Jones moving forward. I don't know what the answer is there. George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, 1977, they were taking a break from Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Star Wars, respectively. They were on the beach in Hawaii. They were trying to just relax. And Steven Spielberg said, I want to make a James Bond movie. And George Lucas said, I have something better for you. It's called Indiana Smith, and he's a famous archaeologist that goes on adventures. He later changed it to Indiana Jones, as we know, but that was the impetus behind it, James Bond. So I always thought that somebody would step in and take over for Harrison Ford, like we've seen many times with James Bond. I'm not so sure about that anymore. What do you guys think? You can send a super chat right now. You can send a streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa if you want to add to the conversation. All right, as we move on to our next segment, get ready for some Reilly's Cantina. We'll get there in a little bit, but we're going to do something right now that I'm adding to the show, and that is called staff recommendations. And you guys, we talked about the trailer. You got to get ready for this movie now. The staff recommendation, my recommendation of the week, A Quiet Place. That's right, everybody. Look at that great poster, too. You can see the creature in the background is entering there. And we know if you've seen A Quiet Place, you know what's happening in that bathtub right now. If they hear you, they hunt you. And I can't wait for the sequel. So remember this. Go right now. Check out A Quiet Place if you haven't already. Who's a horror fan out there? I want to see everybody in the chat right now. Raise your hand. Do whatever you can to let me know you're a horror fan and you're going to go see A Quiet Place 2. And also let me know if you haven't actually seen A Quiet Place and you can actually follow through on my staff recommendation. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think of it because that movie was so great. That movie was so much fun. It was surprising. I thought that John Krasinski did a hell of a job as a director. He came out of nowhere, as one of those directors do sometimes. Jordan Peele comes to mind, where he just comes out and he just knocks it out of the park. A Quiet Place is a fantastic movie. It had a lot of different directions it was going to go. They Beck and Woods, the screenwriters, Brian Woods and Scott Beck, wrote the story back when they were in college. It was in 2016 that Krasinski read their spec script and then was hired to direct. The rest is history. So we have this new movie, A Quiet Place 2. Get ready. I believe they're going to expand the mythology of the creatures. It's been teased in A Quiet Place. I don't want to ruin it for you, especially during the staff recommendations, but that is for the week. Get ready for A Quiet Place 2. Go watch A Quiet Place. If you haven't seen it, tell me what you think. If you're rewatching this, drop it in the comments. And everybody in the chat right now, who's going to see A Quiet Place 2? Where are my horror-loving folks right now? How about Ikaika? A Quiet Place. Will you go revisit it? Are you going to see it again before we go to the movies?
Oh, yeah. I'll rewatch it probably that week of.
Oh, yeah. I watched it, about a week ago, revisiting it, and it's a fantastic movie. I just love that. Daniel Medina loved A Quiet Place, just programmed showtimes for A Quiet Place 2 yesterday. Going to be a fun weekend. System Failure 2, love horror. Stacey M. Brooks, love that movie. Kate Van D, my friend, good to see you in the chat here. In the same lane as Joker, by the way, she writes, rated R. Bioterrorists Against Corporate Pollution. Jessica Chastain stars. Ooh, would be amazing. Need a good Ivy movie. That's a good call. If you want to drop in anything about A Quiet Place, please do so. But that is your staff recommendation of the week. And with that, that means it is time to get into our Star Wars section of the day. Get into a really good conversation here because there is something that Dave Filoni said. We're going to get to it right now. This is Reilly's Cantina. Come on now, everybody. This is the part of the show that I bring in the Star Wars. Reilly's Cantina started as a Star Wars show. And we're here now with Good People, Good Movie, but switching to the Reilly's Cantina, switching to the idea that we have something interesting coming. Dave Filoni recently was speaking about Mandalorian Season 3. And he said it's going to be strong with the Force. Over the course of the 2 seasons, The Mandalorian was, it's proven that it rocks. It's proven it's a hit. It's proven that people love it. It's proven that it is launched an Ahsoka series, a new Rangers of the New Republic. What else are we getting? Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3. Those are all set in the same timeline of Star Wars. I know we're getting Acolyte, which will be set hundreds of years before the events of everything we know in the Star Wars universe. But I don't know where it's going to stand, Mandalorian, that is, and how we're going to see it all come together, and how it's going to fill in some blanks, and how it's going to really, take this to the next level. But the one thing that I always stick with is, what the hell are we going to do with Grogu? What happened with Grogu? Here we have the great Luke Skywalker returning in the nick of time to kick so much ass that Reilly jumped out of his seat and broke a glass of water and it went everywhere. That's how much I love that moment. But Dave Filoni is basically saying this, and this is an article thanks to my friends over at joblo.com. In the closing moments of The Mandalorian Season 2, we saw Boba Fett and Fennec setting up that series. But The Mandalorian creator, Jon Favreau, explained... oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong quote. That's the Book of Boba Fett. Duh, I'm reading the wrong thing. This is what happens when... I don't know. This is what happens when I do things. So while we have the Book of Boba Fett, Dave Filoni goes on Good Morning America during May the 4th. And he says, teasing Mandalorian Season 3, he says there's a lot of new adventures coming up. I have to be careful. I can't really say anything specific, but I think the Force will be strong with this. Let's just say that. Now, that got me thinking. It really did get me thinking, because when we ended Mandalorian Season 2, this is what I know, and this is what we all know. And anybody on the other side of this, sorry, spoilers. But, if you're watching this, I don't see how you haven't seen Mandalorian. Anyways, we get the Darksaber back in the hands of a true Mandalorian, but not Bo-Katan. So I look to that as the thrust of perhaps the character of Mando, because what I felt with Mandalorian and what it did so well is Mandalorian was a story about belonging in a universe that is broken. And what does belonging feel like? Family. And making makeshift families out of allies. Mando was able to not only embrace the creed of his Mandalorian culture, but he also kind of decided to go against it somewhat. This is the way, because he basically was a life debt to save Grogu. But it brought horrible things upon the Mandalorian culture, at least his culture, and we saw some of those episodes. But then he's standing behind Grogu, and he's going to make sure Grogu gets to where he needs to be. And he meets Ahsoka Tano on the way. He sees Luke Skywalker, all these things. And then Grogu is given to Luke Skywalker, and they go off into the sunset. And I see then Mando with the Darksaber. Mando giving the eyes to Bo-Katan, or Bo-Katan looking to Mando going, "You son of a..." Because you can only get the Darksaber out of combat, and you have to win it off the person. He won it off of Moff Gideon, and therefore it's Mando's. Bo-Katan wants it back. That's her rightful. That's hers. It's her for the throne of Mandalore. So what does Dave Filoni mean when he says it's going to be strong with the Force? I think Grogu. I think Luke Skywalker. I think Ahsoka. I think of building the new Jedi Order that will ultimately come undone later on in some of the sequel movies. But I wonder, are we going to get new Jedi? And that's where I ultimately think we're going to go. Is that we're going to get introduced to new characters, new Jedi that are coming from Luke Skywalker's academy. And I wouldn't put it past Lucasfilm, Filoni, Favreau to have Luke Skywalker show up again in this movie. But because of Dave Filoni saying this, I believe Grogu is coming back to Mandalorian Season 3. I thought maybe they would take a break and focus on the Mandalorian character, Mandalore, returning to the throne, the Darksaber, all that kind of stuff, and maybe step away a little bit from some of the Force stuff with Grogu. Now I'm not so sure. Ikaika, I want to get your take real quick, and then I want to get everybody out there to tell me, what does Dave Filoni mean? This is the conversation we are going to have here right now in Reilly's Cantina. What does he mean, strong with the Force? Are we getting Luke Skywalker back? Is Grogu truly going to be in Mando Season 3? Because why wouldn't you? Because, Grogu sells toys. So streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Send in a super chat, and I will read that for you guys right now as we add to that conversation. Ikaika, though, what do you think Filoni's talking about here?
What day did he say this on?
What date?
Yeah. Was it May the 4th?
It was May the 4th when he said this.
I think he just said that just to be cute and make fans go, "Oh," and or make them overanalyze everything. I'm not sure if this really means anything. I think this is just the Force is strong with the Season 3. I was worried about that too, but I also think it's a double meaning. I think, and I thought about it, dude. I wouldn't put it past them to do that tongue in cheek. Especially with Star Wars, especially when it comes to people. Hey, Andrew Garfield, are you in Spider-Man 3? No. Yeah, they're always hiding something. People say it all the time. I'm not in that movie. If the way I would do it, if I was working on, if I was him, was don't bring Grogu back for Season 3. Bring him back in a pivotal moment in Season 4. People kind of not almost forget about him, or it makes the return that much greater.
Right. Okay.
Maybe a few years down the line when he can talk a little bit, or he has his own little lightsaber.
Yeah. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. I think there is going to be Force users in it. Jedi. I think that we're going to see Grogu. I look at these things not only from story, writing. I look at it as a business. You sold millions of Grogus, and you want to stop selling Grogus? You want to forget he's out there? You want to just take a break? Nah. I think Grogu's going to come into it. But Jake Rowan here with a super chat, man. This is great. Luke, Han, and Leia scene in season 3 de-aged? Yeah. The fact that they had Mark Hamill sit on this one for a while, the fact that they brought Luke Skywalker back, everything's on the table now. Leia? Yep. Han? Yep. Boba Fett? Yep. Darksaber? Yep. Clone War connection? Yep. Bo-Katan? Yep. Another species of Yoda? Yep. Mando, what they're doing in the streaming area of Lucasfilm and Star Wars is as exciting as all get out. And I think sky's the limit. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get that? Or do you think we're going to be introduced to some new Jedi? Do you think we're going to see Grogu? I want to hear from you guys because it is something that I wonder. It's because Ikaika and I have just talked about it. We don't know. We thought maybe it would take a little break from Grogu or some Force-sensitive beings. But maybe Luke Skywalker comes back around. Ahsoka Tano, Rosario Dawson comes back around. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great to see Luke Skywalker with Ahsoka Tano? We have an Ahsoka Tano. This is where we are with Mandalorian, okay? Luke Skywalker's out there. Han Solo's out there. Princess Leia's out there. The Republic is out there. Thrawn is out there. Ezra's out there. Ahsoka's out there. Grogu's out there. Boba Fett's out there. Bib Fortuna's out. No. Bib Fortuna was killed by Boba Fett. But this is what I'm talking about. They're all out there right now. So if you're talking about intersecting, you're talking about things coming together, you're talking about de-aging some actors and getting them in there, whether or not they want to do, get Harrison Ford to do the voice and de-age him, I don't think Harrison Ford would come out. But doesn't mean you can't do a character. Ikaika, what do you got, my friend?
You know who I think might show up either in season 3 or season 4? Omega.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first episode, but
Omega?
she's already a favorite of mine. I feel like she's going to be a fan favorite.
I think so. I think, again, look at what they're doing. Finally. This is what I'll say about Star Wars. It was always a shared universe waiting to happen. There are so many pockets of the galaxy. Marvel, yes, did it. DC is doing it. And Star Wars was trying, not trying, but they had some big plans for some big stories, the spin-offs, the stories, a Star Wars story, and Rogue One worked. We were able to travel to that pocket of time. We were able to see R2-D2 and C-3PO at one point, knowing there. We were able to hear Commander, why can't I remember her name? Jeez, my God. I don't know about you guys, but I got my second shot, and it just knocked me the F out. This is my first day back, so my brain's a little mushy. Commander Syndulla. You heard the voice in Rogue One, or you heard the character name. I think they're going to start really mapping this out, and I think it's in good hands when you consider a Jon Favreau, a Dave Filoni, and you consider all the directors they're bringing in. Obi-Wan Kenobi now is going to be another set time period. Deborah Chow's coming in to direct that thing. Bryce Dallas Howard did one of the best Mandalorian episodes I've ever seen. They could bring her back. Rick Famuyiwa's coming in, doing some great work there. Peyton Reed. There's so many directors out there that want to tell their Star Wars story, I think. And I think that means good things for us as Star Wars fans. And again, I said it with some of these new movies when it's coming with a new Superman, a new Batman. Sky's the limit. We are all winning. That's what it feels like. We're getting it all. I want it to be that way of thinking. Not that, oh my God, they're taking away my Superman, or oh my God, Lucasfilm is blah, 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 or ruined Star Wars, or this or that. I was there for the prequels when everybody said George Lucas, their childhood. And it's like, get over yourself. Please. It's a good time to be a fan, and what we do here, please hashtag this right now in the chat so I know you're listening. Hashtag find the good. We find the good in all of this. If we can get more movies, more characters, more Star Wars, more lightsabers, more Grogu, more Luke Skywalker, more Han Solo, Ahsoka, Thrawn, These are good things. I found the good. Ikaika, are you finding the good in this conversation?
Yeah.
Well said. Super chats and Streamlabs are always welcome here. Streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Super chats. I'll take them now as we get a little closer to ending this here show. We got about 15 plus minutes to answer anything and everything you guys want to talk about. I see the find the good there. Apocalyptic roar. System failure 2. I appreciate it. I love seeing that hashtag, and I want you all to put it out there in the world. We have some stickers coming, perhaps. We cannot wait to get the message out there, the GPA. I want people to be going out there, and somebody walks by, and you go, what? Hey, hey! The GPA.fund. Go get your merch on. Go get your merch on. We're going to get some stuff out there, spreading the good as we go, whether it's movies, whether it's golf, whether it's positivity, whether it's internet for old people, whether it's GPA Live, whether it's Shinedown, whether it's Ikaika with pause, play, repeat. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Jesus, that took me a while. Sorry, Ikaika. All of that, find the good. Hashtag find the good. Thank you, everybody, for joining here. It's so awesome. And Brian Jackson, Mr. McClunky coming in here. Thank you for this wonderful super chat here. Cheers to dogs. You know how to do it. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for the recommendation of Mitchell's versus Machines. Loved it. That's right. The staff recommendation last week was Mitchell's versus Machines. Baby Yoda saving the day in an X-Wing in Season 3. That would be good. New Jedi turns into Ren's peeps, and I love the Bad Batch. Yeah, it could be. I think that because there was this, let's put it this way, and it's a great comment, Mr. McClunky. McClunky. I can't believe he did that. That was George Lucas's last, F you to Disney. He's like, yeah, here you go, everybody. I signed it over. You can make sure that Disney Plus gets the movies. And then he goes into, before he hands it over, he goes, I will show these fuckers. Sorry I cursed on your movie show. But I think that was George Lucas's last. McClunky. Don't understand it. I still love it now, but it makes me laugh. But thinking about it this way, setting up the idea that some of these Jedi that we might meet can then be explored within character and so many offshoots, whether it's a book, a comic book. But yeah, I could see it really happening, Mr. McClunky, that some of these new Jedi that we could meet in Season 3 of Mandalorian, that we could fall in love with, so to speak, that we could really have a new character to get behind. Maybe whether it's a Grogu, whether it's a new alien creature Jedi or a humanoid creature. I think it would be interesting and lead to ultimately what I would want to see, de-aged or otherwise. I think we need the story of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy going down in flames. I want that story. I've made it's clear. If you followed me, if you know me for anything, you know that I want a movie where it opens and it has feelings of the prequels. It has feelings of Anakin and Obi-Wan going on a mission. And instead of, Anakin and Obi-Wan with their quips, it's Ben Solo and Luke Skywalker, and they're investigating something that's the opening of the movie, and they step in there, and maybe it has something to do with Snoke, but I would love to see the fall of Ben Solo, the fall of the Jedi Order, and the failure of Luke, Master Jedi Luke Skywalker, why he goes to the island. I think an examination of that would be interesting to consider, interesting to see. And I think that what we're seeing, the groundwork right now with some of these ideas in Ahsoka series, or this series, or La series, all these things, thank you, Ikaika, you're right, is they could be setting something up for that. Or a movie, I don't know. Mr. McClunky, thank you for that wonderful donation. I appreciate it. And Miss Lenora Dixon, thank you for your super chat here. I appreciate this conversation, Mark. She writes, we need to see more great movies, especially the superhero movies. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you sending in this super chat. And I just look at it this way. More superhero movies. Great. I think ultimately a Superman will have a black Superman, and we can celebrate that. And then years from now, we can have an Asian Superman. And years from then, We can have an Indian Superman. The sky's the limit. I don't see why not. And I'm excited to see, especially with this story right now, this Superman idea, setting it in the 60s. I think it's a genius idea. And I think handled to one of the earlier Super Chats and ideas, a Jordan Peele directed Superman movie would be an incredible thing to behold. And that's just me. Streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Super chats are always welcome. As we near towards the end of this thing, I'm going to get ready for the big announcement that we were trying to do here, which I'm very excited about. But I'm looking to the chat right now to see if we've missed anything. If we've missed anything in my outline, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 87 windows open in front of me right now, all full of news, and I can't even find my damn outline right now. Where the hell is my damn outline? Ikaika, so you're caught up. This is the last bit that we're going to talk about here, the Bad Batch, the second episode, no spoilers. Enjoying the hell out of this. We were talking a little bit. We like to here at GPA. If you go follow us at Good People GPA on Instagram, we like to go live here in the studio before every show, talk to you, get a little feel about what everybody's talking about, show you some behind-the-scenes stuff, all that kind of jazz that we do here. And in that, people were asking about Bad Batch, and this is what I said. I love it. The animation is some of the best animation I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. And it's some of the best kind of Clone Wars stuff. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I love the idea that we're examining loyalty through clones. Now, think about it that way. Loyalty through clones. These clones were bred for war. Okay? They weren't really, and you saw these themes playing out in Revenge of the Sith. Anakin Skywalker, good heart on Anakin. Remember that. He fell to the dark side because he was manipulated. But there was a clone that was getting chased by a battle droid. And he goes, and Anakin goes, I'm going to go back there and help him. And Obi-Wan goes, no, that's what they're there for. Obi-Wan's like, that's what they were bred for. As bodies to just be vaporized. And so we're now looking through the eyes of that. Can you imagine waking up one day, Ikaika? Let's put it this way. You wake up one day and you go, well, that guy looks like me. Well, that looks like you. Hey, you're bred for war. Get out of here. Go step out there and get shot in the face and be done with it. That's some heavy shit to consider. It's heavy stuff to consider that you're not really valued other than a body to be put in front of the Jedi. That's what they're saying. Go stand in front of the Jedi and take it and just be okay with it. And I like the idea of examining loyalty through weird kind of mirrors, right? Testing that loyalty, being bred with that loyalty in you, right? But also having the wherewithal and because they're the Bad Batch, they weren't exactly made okay. That's what led into some of the Order 66 chip malfunctions, what makes them go, wait a minute, I don't know about this, do we do this? Questioning character. That's what I love in Star Wars, because that's what Star Wars does. It examines what characters are thinking, the moral dilemmas they can be in. I mean, it always goes down to me and my favorite moment in Empire Strikes Back. No, I am your father. You know, make Luke feel, okay, what? That's real? What? And then the haymaker. Join me and we'll rule the galaxy as father and son. Luke is faced with a choice right then and there. And what does he do? He jumps. Nope, I'm not doing that. And the Bad Batch, to me, feel like there's a connection there in that choice. They are told, nope, be the clone, go shoot the Jedi. And they go, no. And they're trying to investigate all these different things, wondering what the chip's going. But it's proving that they're heroes. I'm loving every second of it. What do you guys think? Ikaika, you haven't seen the second episode?
I have not, no. Okay.
It's really, really good. So I highly recommend it. Go check it out there. It's on Disney Plus, obviously. And I'm trying to figure out where my damn MFing... There it is. Okay. We did it. We're here. Okay. So that'll do it for the Star Wars section of this. You guys can, of course, leave a comment below. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And let me know what you're thinking of The Bad Batch and what some of the things we've talked about. I go into the comments. I talk with you guys. I love the idea of what Season 3 has to do with Mandalorian, what The Bad Batch is doing. We're having some great storytelling happening in the Star Wars universe, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be doing that. So, all right, here we go. Let's go to the announcement, everybody. So as you've noticed that Good People, Good Movies has been me here for a little bit. Guests are coming in. Good People, Good Movies. The name, it means something here to the GPA. It was part of the original slate that we launched. And a lot of people were asking, well, where's Reilly's Cantina? And Reilly's Cantina never went away, really. Reilly's Cantina then became a part of the bigger show, of course, but Reilly's Cantina is in there. But Reilly's Cantina was always contingent on, for me, as a host, as somebody that we're trying to build our network here. Reilly's Cantina always felt hard to do a whole Star Wars show. I'm even examining the chat right now. I mean, the minute I switched to Reilly's Cantina and some Star Wars news, we lost some viewers. Now we've regained them. But we want to find that balance, right? The Force is about balance. So we've been behind the scenes doing some thinking, wanting to do something different. The idea of really making a movie show for everyone. And for me, that means putting myself into a situation that I feel comfortable in. And that's sitting down with good people and discussing the things we love in movies, whether that's Star Wars, whether that's Friday the 13th, whether that's Superman, whether that's whatever. So we here at the GPA have decided that it's time to go back to the basics. It's time to reinvent this here movie show and do it in style. And so I'm going to do this. And I invite all our founders out there over on the Bucket Club members as well, over the GPA.fun. Get your glass, pour a drink with me right now. I'm just going to pour some neat bourbon here from our new sponsor, Boone's Bourbon. You guys get this is the good stuff. And I want to announce that next week on my birthday, May 18th at 4 p.m. Pacific, we're relaunching it, folks. Reilly's Cantina is back. Cheers. Look at that. The great Brian Ward coming in with the haymaker. Reilly's Cantina is back, and we are getting back to the basics. But now Reilly's Cantina is everything. We are going to be talking about Oscars. We are going to be talking about superheroes. We're going to be talking about Star Wars. We're going to be talking about horror. Maybe it's Friday the 13th. Maybe it's the new horror movies that are out there. Maybe we're going to be talking about we are going to talk about creature features. We're going to do all that and more. We're going to pour drinks, and we're going to have ourselves a hell of a time. And to celebrate this and to do it right, my guest next week, to usher in this new look, this new way, the great Clark Wolf will be joining me next week here on Reilly's Cantina, and we have more news to share next week that I can't wait to tell you about. But Clark Wolf will be my guest on an all-new, rebranded, everything is just, we're doing this. Reilly's Cantina is, I can't even say my name correctly. I haven't even drank yet. Reilly's Cantina is back, better than ever, and I want to hear from you. What would you like to see on that show? Would you like more Star Wars, a little bit mix? Would you like to have special segments? Do you like the segments happening now, the staff recommendations, the film bits? We're going to get to the last segment as we sign off here, but I want to hear from you, so drop in the comments right now. What do you want to see from a movie show from the Good People Association? But here, Reilly's Cantina, me coming back, doing what I do, within reason, drinking during the day, talking about movies, but, moderation. And inviting people in the studio. I talked to Clark Wolf. She will be in studio when she's visiting. We are going to be having more and more people come into studio. I'm already talking to Coy Jandreau, who's going to be a guest of mine in the future. I'm already talking to Andrew Guy, who's going to be a guest of mine. I'm already talking to Rachel Cushing, who's going to be a guest of mine. And I cannot wait to open the doors to welcome in my friends, because it's happening, everybody. It's happening. People are getting vaccinated. People are out and about. And we're going to get them in the studio, and we're going to do it for Reilly's Cantina, your best place to get movie news, movie conversation, life conversation, and to wet your whistle with all of us here at the GPA. So next week, 4 p.m. Pacific, on my birthday, May 18th, Clark Wolf joining me here for the rebranded Reilly's Cantina. Finally, cheers, everyone. Ooh, that's some good bourbon. Jesse Roach. Hey, I drink during the day. What of it? I drink during the day now, too. Oh, my God. And look at everybody here in this. I know. Go tag Clark Wolf right now. At Clark Wolf. Clark with an E, Wolf with an E. Go tag her on Twitter right now and say, I am so excited to see you next week to be the first guest on Reilly's Cantina. Go tag her right now because I know that will get her excited. We're very excited to have her here. She is the classy one. I cannot wait to have her as my first guest here. And maybe something in the future we can both work on together. More on that next week. Mod-erations as Moremouth. I really appreciate the super chat there. Thank you, everybody, for joining here. Chris Doman, I see you in there. See if you can have Eric bring some people in the music world to come on the show and chat movies. You're absolutely right, Chris Doman. Of course, we are already speaking with, so many different people. And, of course, once Shinedown is done with recording some of recording their actual album. I can't believe I say that sometimes. My friend Eric, I'm like, he's recording his album right now. It's so weird sometimes. But yeah, Eric's going to be in studio. Oh my God, I just almost spilled my drink on my damn computer. Wouldn't have that been a celebration? Jesus. Yeah, we're already talking to bringing some of the members of Shinedown on the show to talk. Reilly's Cantina actually becomes now for everybody because I was having a little trouble finding, it felt like I had to always have a Star Wars expert on Reilly's Cantina. Because whenever Josh Macuga would show up on Reilly's Cantina, everybody's like, it's Josh, but Josh loves Star Wars. And that's what I always said. If you've seen a Star Wars movie and you like Star Wars, you're a Star Wars fan. But to open it up, Reilly's Cantina being just a celebration of all movies and all discussions, it's going to go into streaming series. It's going to go into Oscars. It's going to go into subgenres. It's going to go into horror. It's going to go into prestige picks. It's going to have offshoots of conversations that mean something to all of us. Life. What do we learn from life? What do we learn from movies? How do we all bring it together? We do it by pouring a drink here at the Good People Association. If you're a bucket member or a founder, please pour your glass right now and celebrate Reilly's Cantina returning now to the GPA, 4 p.m. Pacific, every Tuesday here on the Good People Association. How you doing, Ikaika?
Good.
Well said, dude. Talkative as ever.
Yep.
I love it. Well, that'll do it, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here today on Reilly's Cantina. That's right. It is Reilly's Cantina now returning next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, with Clark Wolf as my first guest. Look forward to a number of wonderful people, movie fans, movie makers, writers, directors, producers, rock stars. Anyone and everyone is welcome here on Reilly's Cantina, and we're going to pour a glass, and I can't wait to have you along for the ride. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Drop in some comments below, and please subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody about the Good People Association. Head on over to the GPA.fun and check it out. All the merch that we have, all the membership privileges that we're doing. And know this, we are going to be relaunching our website soon. And it's going to be so much fun for you guys, for the Bucket Club members, for the people that want to come visit our site. Extra stuff. There's so much stuff I can't even get to it right here. So go check it out, the GPA.fun. Hit that like. Go into the comments section. Tell us how you think about what we're doing here. And give me some of your thoughts on what we should do for Reilly's Cantina, what you would like to see. So with that, I don't know what happened. Anyways, I was just reading something. So with that, I want to thank everybody here for joining me on Reilly's Cantina. Hey, Ikaika, how you doing over there, my friend? Any last words?
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. And may the Force be with you, everybody watching at home. As always, thank you for joining me here. I am Mark Reilly for the Good People Association. I will see you next week on an all-new Reilly's Cantina with Clark Wolf as my guest. See you then.